All right. I believe we are a go.
Here we go.
We're a go. Gotta trip on the power cord. Hello. Welcome.
To the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
I was gonna say that. I was just taking my mask off. The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca. Liz. I'm Rebecca. I want to show off my scarf, so I'm still standing. I am the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in very dreary and wet Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there. And on a side note, I saw blue sky on my way into work. For some reason, the gray is just hanging on right here. The sun's supposed to peek out today. First time in like over a week.
Guess what I saw on my way into work? Fog.
I didn't hit fog until
I'm up on the mountain.
Until I hit 64 and whatever the
roads.
Yeah.
The roads. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So I'm gonna say that's what I'm gonna say. It is dismal outside, but it is not frigid. The polar vortex has not hit us.
No, the jet stream is keeping it just north of us.
I was talking to my family, and my sister in Illinois is like sub-zero temperatures, and I'm like, yeah, it's 40 degrees here. She was flabbergasted. Okay, I'm standing up so I can show off my lovely, you can't see the colors because our camera's not good enough, Pioneer braid scarf.
I'll be right back while you're showing that off.
Okay. So look, isn't that pretty? Oh, look, if I get closer to the camera. This is with one ball of Noro Ito. I've made it like a personal goal. I'm gonna keep doing this so you keep seeing all the lovely colors. I've made it my personal goal to try to finish one of my projects every weekend. This weekend might be one of the first ones. It's going to be really hard to do that because I don't know if I have any projects that were this close to being done. But here's the cool thing about the Pioneer braid scarf. So 200 grams of yarn should be plenty for this. I still had a little bit left over. I don't think I brought it in. But you get these really cool braid, Pioneer braid, You get these really cool V's coming in on it, right? It's so dark and broody, you need to get it closer to the camera to see the colors.
It is really cool.
It's wonderful. We have some Noro Ito colors that are not dark and broody. It works really well with, I called it in my newsletter, a medium color changing yarn. And by that, I mean, it's not where it changes colors every couple inches, but it's also not where it changes colors over the entire ball. So that shows this off and makes it look like you're using a million colors on this. It's short rows. It's a free pattern, but here's the trick. I have not blocked this, by the way, so there's a couple little puckers in it, but it's short rows that don't involve wraps and turns, which is usually, again, the name short row implies you're not going all the way across your row. Usually you hide holes in that by doing a slip, wrap, slip back, do all this crazy stuff. This doesn't. There's knit front and backs over here when you start a row. There's slip knits wherever you are turning around. That closes the gap. It's kind of like when you are picking up stitches or doing a heel of a sock, some styles of socks. You slip knit with one stitch from either side of the gap and it closes the gap. It's really, really cool. It's not super complicated. One skein of Ito. We've had some people, since I advertised this on my morning meditations that I do on Instagram and Facebook, buy some of these. We're down at least a color. Check them out. They're beautiful colors. Noro is just known for their beautiful colors. Go back and watch our VSCs where we talk about all the shades of Noro and things about that, because we have a lot to talk about today, potentially. As I cough into my newly finished Pioneer braid scarf. Keep it here so I can cough into it more and then put it in quarantine. Because there's lots going on, and I worked on lots, and you made progress on lots.
I made progress on one, and I'm still not done.
But it's progress, and it's really cool. So here, I'll wear this because it's got my germs on it. Anyway, so what did you do this weekend, Liz?
Oh crap! I'm doing a triple crochet. I should stop.
It's not a thing.
So I started on Tuesday night last week. Started the Adlothia shawl.
This is why crochet is so awesome.
It pull some yarn so I can. I Tuesday, I think I got almost all of the first section done.
Mm-hmm.
And
then she kept going.
It calls for light fingering on a little itty bitty hook. Nobody's got time for that.
Not
and
these.
I like bigger pieces. So I'm doing sport and fingering weight on a J hook or 10 millimeter, or no, 6 millimeter. It would be a 10 knitting needle, which is my happy place in knitting. So, you want to?
Should I help?
Yeah. Yes. I am 1, 2.
I haven't
3.
woven my ends in, by the way.
I'm 3 and like 2/3 of a row from being done.
And this is soft goodness, let me just tell you. And our microphone's kind of in the way, but you can kind of basically, yeah. Oh my gosh, this is so huge and awesome.
I know.
And so soft and wonderful.
I know.
Oh, and you know why? Cashmere.
So I had this yarn and this yarn in my stash. And they're a fingering weight merino cashmere that was DX'd by the company. It was sad. But I've had it.
We don't have more, but it's
for a
lovely.
long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I picked up some neighborhood fiber company from my stash that's got cashmere in it.
Oh, we have seen the 2 different colors now.
Yeah.
The dark blue colors, there's actually 2 different colors in it.
Yep. And then the dark blue down here and the gray and the cream are a cashmere, alpaca, and silk blend in a sport weight.
Plymouth Cusco cashmere, which we have here in the shop. We do not have online because we have some limited quantities of it.
We don't have the blue, the gray, or the cream anymore. Not a thing.
She bogarted them all. But, you know,
yeah.
Call the shop if you're interested in what else we have of that. Or maybe we'll put up online until it sells out. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see.
But
it's so pretty. And you were saying that most of this is not complicated stitches.
No, like personally, I think the only complicated part, and it's not even complicated, it's the front post double crochets there's ridges in, you can see the ridges.
Mm-hmm. I have some of those on my Nessie shawl.
Yeah. And then there's it's all combinations of chains, 90% double crochet and single crochet, and then some triple crochets in there, but like not difficult at all.
That's cool.
So
that's very cool.
Her chart is handwritten. It's kind of cool. It's graph paper and handwritten.
But you mentioned there's also
instructions. So she has pages and pages and pages and pages. And so I'll
put the link in the description.
It's been a fun crochet. So
and she's making so much more progress than I am. My Nessie stalled out. I'm sorry, guys.
In a week, I've touched knitting twice. I did the second row of the contrast on my Papillon, the Feederbrook Papillon that we're racing for.
Yeah.
And I haven't touched it since.
I haven't touched my Papillon all week.
I sat down and was like, I should finish this.
I finished the scarf though.
Going back. And I started a hat. But
that's pretty.
That's
it's
apothecary.
Apothecary. Okay. I'm like, I know it's not from our shop because I know just about everything from our shop. And I don't think you spun that.
No.
So I was like,
I bought it at SAF.
Apothecary is a wonderful
2 years ago. So the last SAF that
actually
went
existed.
after the great Legionnaires disease. Anyway, like, are we going to SAF or are we not?
Because of Legionnaires, yes.
So it was the last time I bought yarn at Apothecary in person. I may have.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to stifle yawns because yesterday was not a normal Monday. That's part of why I was saying, hey, what did you do this weekend, Liz?
Rebecca tells me Sunday night that we had 10.
And
10
we got
orders?
more orders since then.
Yeah.
We got like 16 orders
We
on
had-
Valentine's Day because we had a
Yeah.
social media sale.
And we had
announced on
had
social
orders
media sale.
before that, and we've had orders after that, and lots of people wanted yarn wound, and I was like, we have so many orders that like we're not going to be able to do anything but orders on Tuesday.
Believe it or not, Liz is often the sensible one when it comes to crap like this.
I was like,
I'm like, hey, whatever. She's like,
if
no.
Vikings show up on Tuesday, and we never know when they're coming. I mean, they're always.
We have no
Always.
appointments for today so far.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that we will be able to get stuff done today.
Yeah. I have boxes of yarn to put away from all the orders we got in last week. I never hung up the Daydream Dye Works because I was like, people are going to get it.
And they
have. So I have, out of the 2 boxes, 70
skeins.
70 skeins. I have maybe a box to put away.
Yeah, we're at
Probably
least
sold
down
half
to
of it.
half.
Yeah.
We're at least down to half, if not more. I haven't looked recently.
Yeah.
Before the weekend, we had sold about 20 skeins.
Yeah.
And the weekend, we sold some more. And I'm gonna my way through.
Life was so crazy last week. It took me 2 days to sticker all of the yarn we got in to replace the yarn that had been sneaking its way out.
People keep buying yarn.
People keep buying yarn.
And then we have to order more.
And it's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have.
Anyway.
I said pre-pandemic times I was gonna slap people who said that. So I have to slap myself.
So now there is all that yarn to put away. There is a large amount of yarn that I have to wind from the orders
There's
that
still
came in.
3 orders worth of yarn, of large quantities to
Large
wind.
quantities of yarn.
Which is a service like shout
We'll
out
do
to
it.
Erin. She's like,
You're gonna
I'll
have to
pay
be
you for
patient.
it. Like, but that's a service we offer if you buy yarn from us, and that would be lovely. But we're not going to change policies right now.
Yeah.
Although Erin,
Just be patient.
Liz is like, really? No.
Because
we
gonna take a
have
while.
11. We have 11 packages ready for the postal people to pick up today. It's not everything we need to mail because we had more packages, more orders coming overnight, and we have at least 1 or 2 orders that need to be wound before they're sent out. By the way, if you put in the notes that you want it wound, we will wind it. It will hold up how fast we can get it to you. But if you don't give us any notes at checkout on the online, even if at this point, because of how life is, even if we usually wind yarn for you, if you don't tell us at checkout you want it wound, there's a really good chance it will come unwound because life is crazy right now. So yeah, we've got more things. We have a bunch of orders for pickup that are ready, but if you haven't gotten the email saying your order's ready for pickup, it's not ready yet. So
and we thank you guys. Thank you for
it's
Valentine's weekend.
we're so grateful, but we're also really tired.
Yeah.
We came in, we kept it to maybe 3 hours yesterday. We were gonna do 2, and it's never what we say we're gonna do.
No.
We came in a little earlier than we said we agreed to, and we stayed a little later just to finalize those 11 orders. But yeah, that threw my whole day into a little bit of turmoil because I filmed a brief tips and tricks about shawl shapes before that, and had to edit when I got home and still do my newsletter, and I had to spend about 2 hours in bed because that all gave me a migraine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then shout out to Jessica. She's already commented on my tips and tricks. Oh, you did these 6 shawls, but there's also pie shawls and spirals and this, and you could keep going. And I'm like, not yet. It's a wonderful suggestion, but not yet. Because I mapped out the styles and shapes of shawls that I find the most common. Yes, thank you. And most kind of traditional, and the ones I make the most that we have here in the shop is what I did. And it was symmetrical and asymmetrical triangle shawls, wraps that are often rectangles, and crescent shawls. So watch Sun Dragon Tips and Tricks for drawings of those. I also told them on Tips and Tricks to watch us, because when we're showing stuff off, we often, not that we're going to do that in depth today, but the things that we're making that we often show off will fit into those categories. So you'll know
9 times
when
out
it
of
is
10,
described.
my shawls are two kinds.
Two?
Rectangular and symmetrical triangles.
Yeah, I was thinking just symmetrical triangles, but you have made some rectangular. That's true. Or variations on them that are kind of trapezoidal or like parallel.
I started with a parallelogram and stopped.
It morphed, you know. Yeah, so it's been a weekend, shall we say?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
And thank you. Yes, abundant thank yous. And bear with us if I'm going to stifle a yawn or two or be a little, because the migraine is coming or going or whatever. But, you know, that's life right now. I had someone who responded to my newsletter, already emailed me back from my newsletter yesterday that said, do you sleep? And the answer is no, I'm trying to keep my shop alive. Well, I do sleep, but maybe not as much as I should. And I'm trying to keep my shop alive. So...
and maintain a relationship with your significant other, and
what's that?
And eat, and
what's that? Like, I often give Brian a hug and say I'm sorry, and then go back to work. And you know, yeah, there's a lot to do, and that I think you guys and all the work we're doing, but you guys are the reason that our shop is still alive right now, and we're very grateful for that. But oh my gosh, it's a lot of work. So
if we were just going on like day of the week, not numbered day of the week, but like Tuesday a year ago, which now falls on Thursday, but Tuesday a year ago, we started filming.
Yes. The technical day is Thursday, is our 1-year anniversary. And we'll probably talk more about it then. I was going to say, yes, this is a special week. Woo. This is the week last year where we were just like, we could do this.
So
let's try
over the weekend, a year ago, Rebecca was like, hey, I'm watching all of these.
I went down the rabbit hole of like
podcasts,
Bernadette Banner,
yeah,
and then Grocery Girls. I watched 1 or 2. I didn't want it to, like, I don't watch any of those anymore. I'm not watching Bernadette Banner, but
yeah,
I try not to watch the knitting podcasts because I don't want us to become copies of them by accident or on purpose. I want us to be us. But yes, I was watching, dabbling with a few, and I was like, we could do that. Yeah. But I don't know how to work YouTube and like the actual production side, and we don't have nice equipment and fancy like stuff.
Yeah. So all weekend it was back and forth of we could do this, and I'm like, yeah, maybe.
And then Brian's like, just do it. Just try it.
So Tuesday morning,
what's the worst that could happen? It's kind of crappy and oh well.
I come into work and Rebecca's like, "Hey, we're gonna film today," and I was like,
"Try it."
Okay.
And this was pre-pandemic.
Pre-pandemic, and
olden days.
We sat a whole lot closer, and your hair was a whole lot shorter, and
we were like, if you go back and look at the thumbnails, you can watch. We were here.
Yeah.
And then we started to go like this, and then we were in our own boxes.
Yeah.
And then we stay like
sides. Yeah. It
and
was,
I still have Rachel my sister yelling at me that we're too close together while we film.
The other thing is we only filmed for 8-ish minutes.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We can talk about it today instead of Thursday, because then we can devote more time to the Thursday. But we can revisit.
Yeah, we'll revisit.
8 minutes, and we're like, oh my gosh, this is so long.
How do we fill 8 minutes?
It's like, oh my, we went over, I set a timer for 5 minutes so we would keep it short. Like that first week or two, I had timers going.
For like 15 minutes, a half hour. We gradually increased.
And then we just stopped paying attention. I kind of half look at the clock over there to see what time it is. And I remember when we finally expanded to like 20 or 30 minutes, and we were worried about it being too long. And someone was like, oh no, that's the length of a sitcom. It's great.
Yeah.
We kind of gone over that.
It's been weird. It's weird and good, and we've met so many cool people.
It's been such a cool adventure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we didn't even do this because the world was falling apart and we needed a way to connect to people. It was the opposite. It was, let's try this. Why not? And then that Thursday,
It snowed.
It snowed, and we were stuck at work, and we're like, let's do another one.
And
Let's
thus
film
began
twice a
the
week.
twice a week.
And then I don't remember
Because we have to be consistent. Like we were like,
Yeah.
we'll film every Tuesday. And then we were like, oh, it's snowing. We'll throw in a bonus episode this week. And then the next Thursday it was like, we have to be consistent.
We did it last week.
So we did it last week.
And then at some point, we have to go back and look when. At some point, we were like, ooh, we could throw in a special Wednesday episode and advertise. That was after the world. I think the world was falling apart, and we're like, we need a way to tell people what's here. So let's do a Wednesday thing. I don't think we started the sale at the same time.
We didn't know.
No, I don't even know if we had the online shop.
We didn't, not until later. But
yeah, but we were like, Wednesdays can be when we show stuff off, because shout out to Kathleen.
QVC this for me.
Can you QVC this for me? Was her thing. Was at a knit night, she'd be like, QVC it for me. Like, tell me about it. You know?
Yeah.
So she'd ask all these great questions. And so the VSC was based off of QVCing here in the shop. And oh my gosh, it just has snowballed.
Become the most dangerous show of the week. and then we got an online store, and then it was like the VSC is a great way to start getting stuff on the online store, because then
it all had purpose.
And then we started doing product of the week again way later. But
yeah, we used to have yarn of the week, and it would start like when we opened the shop on Tuesday through the following Tuesday, and it was 10%. And products of the, and then we added notions. This was all pre-pandemic, but the product of the week, we're like, we offer you 15% off, and it was linked to what we do on Wednesdays, which is kind of thrown. Excuse me. It's kind of thrown our schedule, a clean schedule of week to week, out the window. The week to week is based on when we film, because that's life right now. But I really feel like our shop rotates a lot more around this.
Yeah.
Than shop life, because shop life is kind of.
Well, and then Fridays we come in and we don't film, and it's weird. It's a weird day, Fridays.
And yeah, if you think about it, Friday's we're not going to change this and start filming on Fridays, because, oh my gosh.
No.
But that's the only day the shop is open that we're not filming at this point. Back when we started this, life was still normal, and the shop was open 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Really, well, it was winter, so maybe 5.
Yeah.
We're not always open on
Tuesday through Saturday.
Yeah. Sundays is a summer thing.
Yeah.
But not this past summer, because we stuck with
Tuesday through Saturday. Did I say Friday?
You said Saturday, I think.
Okay. I don't know. My brain.
Migraines aren't supposed to rub off on people. No, like, and at first we were only, like, when the lockdown hit, we were only open 2 days a week to even come in, and no one was supposed to be coming by or allowed in or anything. So for us to be open 4 days a week now is a huge change from when the world fell apart. Fell apart.
Yeah.
Like, everything's been crazy. And then there's still people wandering around like nothing has happened.
Yeah.
I do not understand.
Mm.
I still have a few things to show off of what I did this weekend. But we can keep talking, reminiscing about a year. I can't believe it was a year ago.
I know.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Excuse my language.
Oh, no.
It's not the strongest language I could be using. But this is a family-friendly show, and even that is a little harsh for a family-friendly show. Supposedly, we're a family-friendly show. I know there's some families who watch us.
Yes.
So we try to keep it decent. I sometimes let bad language fly around my stepson, and he's like, I've heard it before. And I'm like, that's not the point. You might have heard it, but I'm trying to set a good example here. People who come to knit night will see another side of me sometimes. But
knit night's different.
Knit night it's night. And I've had a day. By the way, there is knit night tonight.
Oh, crap. I grabbed a hook that I assumed was mine.
That was mine on the table.
Yes,
it?
It's a K. And I'm not sure when I switched from a J to a K.
Oh, no! Where's yours?
I lifted this up and it's underneath. I'm like,
well, how much different? What's a J?
J is 6 millimeter.
This is 6.5 millimeters.
Well, and
so okay. If you're really worried about it, rip it out. But I don't think you're gonna have like one little 2-inch saggy section. It's It's a 0.5 millimeter.
It's a 0.5 millimeter.
Saggy section. Okay.
It's a good thing I'm not you, because you would have ripped it out.
Maybe we would have let it go. It's 0.5 millimeter. There's parts of my stop it. There's parts of my
Maybe I would have loved it.
Hey, there are stretched out stitches in my Age of Brass and Steam because I was showing off the Norwegian curling, and I fought my inner beast and I did not rip it out. I still notice it every time I look at that thing.
No.
But I did not rip it out. Okay, so I revisited, like, this was a languishing project that I finished. I'm so proud of it. The reason I didn't make any progress on my Papillon is because I picked up some languishing projects and made progress on them that I'm very proud of. And I'm still annoyed I haven't worked on my Papillon. But, okay. So
that is looking so
no. Okay, so this is my Honey Moss by Andrea Mowry. And I need to put it on a bigger needle because, like, this is super jammed on. But the Honey Moss is cables down here, right? And you hit a certain number of stitches and you get to do lace for the rest of it. So right there is where I've switched from the honeycomb cable to the lace. The lace is kind of flying because I'm not cabling as much. Here's my kind of squished Prim ergonomic cable needle. I love this thing. But the lace, it's like this mossy ivy looking lace. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And it's 40 rows. The lace chart or written instructions, it's got both. And you have to do those 40 rows 3 times, 120 rows. I'm almost 20 rows through the first repeat. So, you know, it's flying now. So I'm super excited to, like, I'd love for this to be the project I finish this weekend, but that's still a lot of rows. But these rows, after working on sweaters with like well over 200 stitches, and the next shawl I'm going to show you, which has over 400 stitches on it, 120, 130 stitches, piece cake. So,
yet again, a reason to have multiple projects. So if one feels like it's going to kill you,
I'm gonna, yeah, exactly, right? So here's the other stuff I at least touched and got a little bit of work done on this week, that some of which I told you guys about, some of which I didn't. The shawl I said I was going to show you next, I'm saving that till the end because it's awesome.
You worked on your sweater.
I did, because I'm trying to do something different for morning meditation every morning to show off all the things I'm making. This is from my Ready Set Raglan book, and it is on needles that are far too short to really show you the full extent of what's happening. But this is the top of my 2x2 ribbed sweater.
And you go back in and pick up stitches for a collar, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It does not have a collar on it yet. So yeah, this looks a little rough. It's gonna have, I could go back and do the collar because that's what I've done on another sweater I'll show you in a minute, but almost finally through my first skein of yarn. Have my second one ready to go. I'm doing a darker teal with it. I'm gonna try to figure out a new spot other than just where the sleeve separation happens. I've gone back and forth on this because the sleeve separation, I don't want it to be like right across the big girls here, right? Sleeve separation could be higher. So that could work, but I'm almost thinking I'd like to do it under the girls so I kind of have the appearance of an empire waist. I don't know if that's going to work or not, or make my boobs just look ginormous by doing that. So I'm going back and forth on that. We'll see. But that is from my Ready Set Raglan book that we still have a couple copies left of. We are starting to run short on these. I may reorder them because as long as I'm working on this sweater or another one, it's a great book and I'd love to carry it in the shop. So, all right.
Is it a book we're able to reorder?
I've already reordered it once. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can still reorder the Winter Knits book.
Oh, cool.
It's not a mag. It's by Pom Pom Publishing, which does the magazines that are quarterlies. But it's I think it's pretty much always available. Like they publish the magazines, which are quarterlies, which have bindings just like this. They're nice and thick. and they publish books like Ready Set Raglan. Some of the old quarterlies I might be able to reorder, but it depends on how much. Sometimes they stop printing them after a while, so it's hard to say. One more thing, as it falls apart. Hang on, as my container falls apart. One more thing to show off. I'm talking off camera right now.
Ooh.
Is here's what I'm doing with this guy. So this is my Eze 2 from Espace Tricot, and don't mind the mess of my mohair. That's just for transport, and I will untangle that in a minute. So this is an example of a triangle of a rectangular wrap, not triangle. That's what I get for trying to be suave. Wrong words come out of my mouth. This is only like 84 stitches across. So, and it's got eyelets about just shy of every 60 rows. So every time I pick it up, so I can keep track of where I am, because the first time I had to try to count and it was horrible. I'm using Mayu lace from Amano Yarns that's slightly tonal. You can kind of see that where it's lighter and darker blue in there. It's really cool. And a gray mohair that I'm using in my yarnet to keep it, and when I pull on it like that, it just flops around in there and stays contained. I love it. I think we're actually out of yarnets in the shop, but hopefully there's more coming this week.
We do have some big sullies.
We do have big sullies, which are fantastic. And my big sully is at home with 2 skeins of green in it for the sleeves on my sorrel that I just started. So it's not enough progress to show off today. But this one, every time I pick it up, I try to do 10 rows. So I'm about 40 rows in to close to 60 rows before my next eyelets that are these guys right here. So fun every 60 rows-ish, just shy. And then a lot of pretty much straight knit and purl. But if I do 10 rows every time I pick it up, and again, 84 stitches after doing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stitches, kind of flies. This is so soft and light and airy. I love it. We've helped at least 2 people pick out yarn for this, either through email or by coming in and showing them different combos. We have not put kits up for this yet. And
Mayu lace is online.
They're both online. I need to take better pictures. This is Sugar Bush Drizzle, by the way. We hooked someone else up last week with some of the Lana Gato sparkly mohair. Ooh, it's gonna be so good.
If you're thinking about doing this, and we don't have kits up, I mean it's mohair and the lace. But if you're like, I wonder what that looks like together, email us and we'll send you a picture.
We'll send you a picture because the colors are it's hard to picture them together, and sometimes the colors that we have up, if they're from the company, may not be the best color corrected photo. Even ours are closer, but they still might not be fully color corrected. The sun is out. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on.
I see blue sky way over there.
I see sunlight and shadows there, so there must be blue sky somewhere. Okay, so I really tried to work on as many projects as I could this weekend, or make a little progress on them. And except for coming into the shop, I did. But I'm still trying to hold off on my shawl. That is really close to being showing you next. I can't remember. I know I showed you I started a sweater and I was like, oh, it's so great and yay. And I can't remember if I showed you that I put the collar on it. I decided I didn't like the big gappy opening this one had. So this is my favorite flannel by Alicia Plummer. And I think it's going to be absolutely gorgeous for the Plymouth Mushishi. But I put the collar on it because I didn't like the gappy opening, and I wanted to see what it would look like with the collar on.
I want to say you did the collar after we filmed.
I might have done it Friday.
Yeah,
I finished it up Friday. It's a brioche collar, so it's flopping a little on the back. It probably will need to be blocked. But it's a brioche collar, which means it's nice and stretchy and wonderful. And it's a wide crew collar, but not super wide. I think it's going to be nice. I think I'm going to be happy with it. But I wanted to make sure that the neck opening wasn't just ginormously huge and I was going to have issues. If I think it's a little too wide, I could go back. It was a pick up stitches and knit. I could go back and pick up fewer stitches to tighten it up a little bit. But I also don't want the sweater itself to pucker right at the collar line. Thank you.
Sure.
Words are hard, especially on a Monday morning. So that I made a little progress on that, and things are sticking. Okay, there were other things I wanted to work on, but I got distracted by this lovely.
So not a thing.
So not a thing. Hang on. That's stuck on so much. Okay, I'm gonna give up on that. So this is my stay out of the forest shawl that
Need
was meant.
assistance?
I think I'm okay right now.
Here.
When it's off the needles, I probably will. But look at that.
It's hard to see on camera, but
Yeah.
there's the third color already.
I'm into the third color. I'm actually done with the second color. I'm worried that the needles are gonna. Oh no, the needles are doing okay. I finished with the gray, the light gray, because I got down to where we're starting to have some ridges in it, some garter ridges, and the brown is right in there. I switched when I had about 30 grams of the silver left, of the light gray, to start doing every 2 rows with the other color too. And I got through 3 repeats, and I was getting taking about 8 to 9 grams, because I had the kitchen scale at home. I stole the kitchen scale from the shop, and it's at home because we have the mailing scale here. But 8 to 9 grams to go over and back, because these rows, take a look, 407 stitches right now. Woo! And when I finished the third row, I only had 5 grams left. So I knew that wasn't going to get me back across. So I switched to only this color now. I only have 90 grams of this left. And I want to say like almost 120. There were over 100 grams. I think, shout out to Julia, Spunky Sheep. I think she was going by yardage rather than true grammage, which is great. I don't know how much further this is going to get me though, because take a look. Like the first color, all of this, because it starts in the middle and gets bigger. The second color, only a few inches here before I had to start transitioning again. I have a feeling, I was doing some of the math, that I may not even get done with this third of 4 sections with this color before I'm going to switch to, ooh, look how lovely it's going to be. Over here, stuck to it with this pink. Rose gold. It's not really pink. It's more, oh, I've lost the ball band. It's in there somewhere. It's more of a really great, like, coral color.
Yeah.
Really pretty. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. This is an alpaca merino and silk blend. It's so soft and wonderful. I have a feeling I am going to run out of yarn on this before I finish following the instructions, even though the instructions say that you should need like 1,300 yards. I have well over 1,300. Well, I think I have well over 1,300 yards all combined, but 5 grams of it didn't use because it wasn't going to be enough. We'll see what happens with this one. I may run short. Liz thinks I'm supposed to do 6 of these garter ridges. I'm about to do the third before I transition to the next section with more garter ridges closer together. Liz thinks I should start putting them closer together right now. And I'm going back and forth because
it won't follow the pattern correctly.
I like following the pattern, but anyone else's isn't going to look like mine anyway. So maybe I should, I don't know.
It'll be an all-day discussion.
The struggle's real.
It is.
Although, honestly, unless we're discussing while we're doing a lot of crazy things around here, I'm probably not touching this shawl maybe until knit night tonight. And then knit night tonight, I'm not sure what I'm doing because since I finished a project,
she wants to start a new
one. I really want to start one. And I think, okay, so it's a sweater by Lisa Hans. It's called, I should know. Here's my thinking, okay? You guys gonna follow me on this? I finished the cable part of my honey moss, which means I don't have a cable project currently going, which means I should. It means I should, so y'all can see some fun cables, right? So I sent Liz a picture of this. This is one that's like, it's a sweater. It's got cables in it. It's called the Fallen Cloud Sweater by Lisa Han. You may or may not be able to see that, but I can't get it too much closer right now. I have too many projects between me and the camera. It just has one cable panel running down the left side. And it's a drop sleeve sweater, which means it's essentially kind of a box for the body. And the sleeves, like the drops sleeve, like the shoulder, it's a dropped shoulder. And I don't usually make those. But I'm intrigued. Maybe I'll like this one. I don't know. But it's got cables.
So there's a question about yarn.
Yes, but before we get to that,
because you were like, this sweater would look really, 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 really good in.
The picture is all tonal and yummy, and that, you know, is fiber space. It just is. That's our tonal. That's our lovely DK tonal. It's like they Lisa Han used Madeline Tosh, I think. And that's a nice tonal as well. Although the one she uses a single ply. That's interesting. I'm not necessarily a big fan of single ply yarns because they don't necessarily wear well. And we don't have a bunch. Yes. But our tonal, DK, yay, you know, is fiber space. But I'm already making 2 sweaters in fiber space. One that you guys probably forgotten I'm making called Golden Fern. It's a fingering weight fiber space. It's at home.
And
I might have forgotten I'm making it too.
Does kind of like people walk in and they're like,
ooh. So do I want to use up fiber space for my sweater when people go, ooh, and we've already placed another really large order for it because people love it. Yeah, y'all know it's here. I don't need to make another sweater. I would love to make another sweater, but we don't need to, right? So, so the 2 other DKs, they're much lighter DKs, but that might be more like the single ply, right? Yeah. There's Juniper and Patagonia, which I have plans for. At least 2 other sweaters I might be making. We'll see if they ever get made. And then we've got the Jody Long Alba, which was kind of our idea of replacing Rowan felted tweed.
It's very similar to Rowan.
It's very similar. It's got, I think didn't we already put this up online? I'm pretty sure this is already in the online shop, so you can check it out. Alba, ALBA.
We only have 6 colors right now.
We thought about bringing in, like, we have a winter color palette. We thought about bringing in a warmer color palette if this stuff sells. And right now, you know, we occasionally sell stuff, which means I can make a sweater out of it. And then maybe we'll bring in more colors. I made a hat and a cowl out of the light blue, and it's gorgeous. But I already have a light blue sweater. This is wool, alpaca, and viscose, which could mean bamboo, but I'm not sure. It doesn't specifically say. But it's mostly wool. 50% wool, 25% alpaca, 25% viscose. And some of that's because it's got little tweedy flecks in it. But this is the yarn that Liz suggested. And this is the color I have thought about. Because I have blue sweaters. I'm working on a maroon sweater right now, but only in the stripes. Right? It's like 1/4 of the color. And I was like, but when she suggested this luscious color, but the more I look at it, the more I'm thinking it probably is the better color for it. See, and Liz is like, I told you so. I was gonna say, which one do you think? But you all know at home I'm gonna make up my own mind. Like, look, it's like almost the color of the scarf I'm wearing, but the scarf has all these colors in it.
So you can comment on what color, or
you can weigh in. I will probably make up my own mind, and I will probably start it tonight. But yeah, this is maroony, but it's kind of a little purpley. It actually, I mean, honestly, it's really close to the color, the trim color in my Venturesol, which is light blue, which is another vote against this one. But could the trim color in my Venturesol be a vote against this one? I don't know. Or vote for. No. I think the cables will probably show up better.
We won't actually know until we go home and she grabs a bowl again. We do have kind of an off black. The darker gray.
The charcoal?
Yeah.
Should I make it in a charcoal?
Ooh.
See, now she's changing her mind.
No, I'm still voting for the red, but you know, I'm throwing out options for
because we've got light blue, which my Venturesol is a light blue.
Yeah.
we've got a lovely olive green, but I'm already doing a dark green and a teal, like a light greeny teal, like this one. It's not green, but it's like bluey teal green. We've got this. We've got this.
And a light and a dark gray.
We've got a light and dark gray. And dark gray is beautiful, and that is wonderful. But I kind of like the fleckies in this. Honestly, the tweed flecks show up the most in this yarn.
Yeah.
And this is like a purpley maroon where the flecks are kind of red and stuff. Struggle is real, people.
All day we'll be discussing it, and then she'll grab a ball to put in her bag, and
I will second guess myself the whole way through the sweater. So, but I do think the cables might show. Even though this looks really dark on camera, it's not as dark. I think. I don't know.
I think the cables will be beautiful in whatever you choose. Red. But anyway.
So do I do it in red because it's dark and broody and Liz likes it? Do I do it in blue because it's a really lovely blue, but it might be too dark, but the flecks are wonderful and the flecks will pop? Liz pointed out that I have blue sweaters. I have the light blue one. I have a dark blue-ish one made out of really cheap yarn that's beautiful, but the pattern is not something I can offer y'all. And the yarn is not something we actually sell here. So if I can have a replacement for it, I'm very bad at making decisions, can you tell? So let me know what you think.
I just like playing the game every time.
She's usually right when it comes to color, but that makes me want to pick a different color this time.
Go ahead, they'll all work.
That's problematic.
It is.
Okay. These two are charcoal. What do you think? Let me know in the comments or email us or whatever. Stop by, but you won't come in and tell us. And we should probably go because the shop should open in a few minutes. And we've gone over our 8 minutes. We will be sharing memories all week about if we remember anything of that first week, because a year ago feels like a lifetime ago. It was pre-pandemic. Life was just completely different.
Found pictures, like screenshots that you and I had sent each other. We had just posted our Thursday episode, so during the snow. But I was working on my first papillon. Like I wasn't.
Well, the whole thing started with papillons, right?
Yeah.
Like I had just bound off mine, or was
you were binding? Yeah, you were. Yeah, it was
that first episode. I mean, that was the week that Marin called, and I almost lost my you know what. And it took me a couple of seconds to realize who was calling, and that first episode is still getting views. That's the crazy thing. We struck gold with that first episode, and now we're good.
The screenshot I found was that like we had just posted our second episode, so it's down there hours old, and our first episode had like over 1,000 views, and we were like, what the heck? Like,
let me just say, no other episode has reached 1,000 views, and anyone who's a professional YouTuber is like. But we were just like,
for us, it was.
We thought at the time we thought like, is every episode going to get 1,000 views? That's just crazy talk, and it hasn't, and that's okay. We still get plenty of views, and y'all are keeping the shop afloat, so thank you. But it was crazy. It convinced us maybe we should do this, and now it's not. We're not depending on numbers to keep doing this. We're depending on connection to y'all, which has been great to keep doing this. So, but. Yeah. Okay.
So we have a busy week.
Yes.
Tonight is knit night. Join us on Zoom. The code is 828-37.
No.
877.
Yes.
3550. I knew there was a 7 and a 3 in there somewhere.
828-877-3550. I write this enough that hopefully I've mistyped it every once in a while on Facebook, and that's just bad. Tomorrow, we have no idea what we're doing for the VSC, but we will do something.
Most dangerous show of the week.
We'll do something. Maybe it'll be a yarn that's already up. Maybe we'll put a new yarn up. It depends on how tired I am, because I'm tired all the time. And then Thursday, we will reminisce more, because the actual physical day we started filming. And we have one letter for VSC, which Dear Becky and Lizzy, brain not working. Which I still don't know what I'm going to answer, but we got it in.
I have a couple of thoughts, but
So we have a question. If you want to send us questions, you can write us a. Excuse me, that's my breakfast. You can write us. You can write us a letter at Dear Becky and Lizzy, Sun Dragon Art and Fiber, 35 South Broad Street, Brevard, North Carolina, 28712.
Or email me, liz@sundragonartandfiber.com.
Okay.
All spelled out.
And we have knit night again on Friday, and this Saturday is our monthly sit and stitch on Facebook and Zoom, and it's kind of 10. So she's gonna go get the phone because it's 9:59. We're gonna answer the phone. So 1 to 5 Eastern Standard Time. Oh, they stopped. Maybe they'll call back in a minute or two. They didn't wait for the answering machine. We usually run and try to get it before the answering machine kicks in.
I couldn't run.
Yeah, you can't run in the shop right now. You will trip and fall. So
Die.
This Saturday, though, let's wrap up with this Saturday is our monthly dual platform virtual sit and stitch afternoon on Facebook Live. You just got to go to our page and go, look, we're live, yay! Or on Zoom, again, with the shop phone number, 1 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know I already said that, but I'm covering all my bases. So join us. It's always fun, and sometimes it's not quite a giveaway, but sometimes there's discounts. So for attending, but you never know when I'm going to give out the code, so you might just have to stay for a while. Okay. And it's our anniversary. We may or may not do something fun for our anniversary that relates to you saving money. Why not? We haven't talked about it yet, though, so we're not announcing anything yet. Because we just did this massive Valentine's sale, and we're still picking up the pieces, so we'll see. But we do like you guys saving money. We like you spending money. And if you can save money while you're spending money, it's a win-win.
Win-win.
Yay! Okay, we got to go. Because the sun's out and we got to put the sign out and do stuff.
I need to check the wind.
I see a little bit of wind. We'll figure that out without boring you guys about it, right? So stay safe and please subscribe. We are inching up on subscribers. Remember, we're at like 466 or so. If we hit 500, we'll have another sale. Oh my gosh. So help us get there. If you are already subscribed, tell someone else about it and ask them to, or suggest that they could subscribe too. And at least like it, at least help the algorithms out a little bit by doing, I don't know, commenting, liking, that kind of thing. I think it all helps. I have no idea. We're still figuring out this YouTube thing, but
we've only been doing this for a year. We don't know.
A year? Oh my gosh. Okay. We love y'all. Stay safe. Bye.